She's coming. Let's bring her. Serena. Serena, God bless you. Where is she? Where is she? I can't see her. Where is she? I can't see her. A green dress?
No Q&A for
Serena. Salam alaikum. Let me just take you upstairs. All right, so we're running late, so there might not be any QA. Yes, come on. Shall I give her this mic? All right. No, you're announcer. I'll do Q&A.
Yeah, I got it. Noah, that's actually
All right. So please take your seats. I know you're loving to say hi to everyone. Congratulations. Welcome. Serena is about to give a speech. She's here. She's ready to go. So please take your seats, everyone. Amazing sermon that really pumped us up. Thank you, Idris. Do I see him? God bless you, Idris. All right. Please welcome Serena, our next speaker.
Oh man, I gotta follow after Idris's sermon. That's a tough one. Salam alaikum, everyone. Okay, my slides are hopefully coming on soon. Closer? Okay. That's it. Oh, that's very zoomed in. Okay. Huh? I'm ready to start, but it looks really strange. This looks very strange. This doesn't look right. Yeah, it's like completely out of. Is there any way to fix that? I also sent a link in my email. If it's easier just to use it through there. Okay, salam alaikum, everyone. I'm gonna get started because the timer is going, even though my slides are looking kind of strange. um, okay. Okay. There's actually a lot of photos in this slideshow, so it's gonna be strange. It is 2025. Okay. Inshallah. Inshallah this works. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's loading. Okay. Okay. Well, whatever. God is learning everything. As they're trying to figure it out, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So as many of you know, Hossein and I welcomed a new addition into our family. Esme, she's sitting over there. If Fairneck June, if you want to hold her up, she was napping during the new introductions speech or introductions. So I thought, why not talk about family in the Quran and the family unit? I'm going to skip parts of this because I don't have the photos. Okay, that's okay. So according to ChatGPT, a family unit, I'm taking a lesson from Idris's book. A family unit is one of the most fundamental social structures in human society. It typically refers to a group of individuals connected by blood, marriage, adoption, or long-term commitment, who often live together and share responsibilities and resources. Functions of the family unit. 1, emotional support. 2, socialization. 3, economic support. 4, reproduction and child rearing. And then 5, care for vulnerable members like elderly. A strong family unit contributes to a stable society. Families often serve as the first line of education, emotional resilience, and social responsibility. Societal issues such as poverty, addiction, or crime are often influenced by the health and structure of family life. So families in Satan's kingdom, they're plagued with high divorce rates, domestic violence, adultery, and children out of wedlock, same-sex partnerships, where sometimes they adopt children who also get victimized, increasing mental illness and substance abuse, and very, very confused children, financial strain and hardship. And we know these are all results of not following God's laws. Now let's dive into the Quranic family, in which each person has a specific role, and because they follow God's laws, they have a strong foundation and their family thrives and flourishes. So let's start from the beginning. The Quran teaches us that marriage begins when a man takes financial responsibility by coming up with a dowry. This isn't a transaction, it's a symbol. It's a declaration that the man is prepared to carry the burden of leadership, provision, and care. Surah 4, verse 24, mutual attraction and dowry required. And I'm just going to read part of the verse. All other categories are permitted for you in marriage so long as you pay them their due dowries. You shall maintain your morality by not committing adultery. Thus, whoever you like among them, you shall pay them the dowry decreed for them. So it says to pay the dowry twice in this verse. It's very important. And the next verse, those among you who cannot afford to marry free believing women may marry believing slave women. And later in the verse it says, marrying a slave shall be a last resort for those unable to wait. To be patient is better for you. God is forgiver, most merciful. So it's definitely better for a man to be in a good financial position before pursuing marriage. And then, of course, they also have to fulfill the criteria of mutual attraction. It can't be an arranged or forced marriage like happens in the Middle East countries a lot of the time. You have to actually establish love on the basis of truly knowing each other. And I want to dive a little bit more into affording marriage. So I'm going to read 24, 32, and 33. Encourage marriage to discourage immorality. You shall encourage those of you who are single to get married. They may marry the righteous among your male and female servants if they are poor. God will enrich them from his grace. God is bounteous knower. Those who cannot afford to get married shall maintain morality until God provides for them from his grace. So, if you're a man and you want to get married, you don't have a job, you don't have any income, then pray to God, and God is the one who will provide these things for you when the time is right. But until then, be patient. Okay, so you're married. Now what? Well, the men and women, they each have specific roles in the relationship. The man is the breadwinner. He's captain of the ship. He's responsible for the woman. And this is all stated in 434. The men are made responsible for the women, and God has endowed them with certain qualities and made them the bread earners. And in the footnote it says, this expression simply means that God is appointing the husband as captain of the ship. Marriage is like a ship, and the captain runs it after due consultation with his officers. A believing wife readily accepts God's appointment without mutiny. Okay, and now let's talk about the women's role. They carry, nurse, take intimate care of the young children, and they also teach the children and enjoin them to worship God. This is actually a duty for both the parents. However, if the father is working, then the mother is going to be the one spending more time with the children and having more opportunity to do this, and that responsibility is going to fall on them more. As well, they honor their husbands even in their absence. They are the first mate, which means the husband consults them when making decisions for the family. So they do still take part in the decision making. 46:15. We enjoin the human being to honor his parents. His mother bore him arduously, gave birth to him arduously, and took intimate care of him for 30 months. And then I also want to read 434. I read just part of it when talking about the man's role, but I want to read the next sentence after, which is, the righteous women will cheerfully accept this arrangement, since it is God's commandment, and honor their husbands during their absence. We know from 432 that God has given a lot of unique qualities to the men and to the women. And in that verse it says, you shall not covet the qualities bestowed upon each other by God. The men enjoy certain qualities and the women enjoy certain qualities. You may implore God to shower you with his grace. God is fully aware of all things. So I looked up some common traits attributed as unique to mothers and unique to fathers, and it's not to say that they don't overlap, but mothers are often more emotionally attuned to their children's feelings and needs, engaging in more verbal interaction and gentle touch in early childhood. In many families, mothers are the primary caregivers, particularly in infancy and early childhood, which can lead to stronger early attachment bond. Mothers frequently juggle multiple responsibilities like childcare, household management, emotional caretaking, and serve as the emotional anchor of the family unit. Mothers tend to encourage emotional expression and help children process conflict through communication and may be more likely to teach empathy and relational skills through daily interaction. Fathers, on the other hand, are more likely to engage in rough and tumble play, which helps children learn boundaries, risk-taking, and self-control. Their style often promotes resilience and confidence. They may challenge children more often, encouraging autonomy, problem solving, and exploration, and often emphasize achievement and taking initiative. Children often look to fathers for behavioral models, especially regarding how to handle challenges, relationships, and societal roles, which is particularly significant for boys, but important for all children. Fathers typically take a lead role in setting rules and enforcing discipline with a firmer approach than mothers, which can balance and complement the emotional support offered by mothers. It's okay. we've gotten this far without the slides. It's all right. The children too have a role in the family. They're supposed to honor their parents, not even expressing the slightest bit of annoyance. Are you hearing this, kids? Don't be annoyed with your parents. And should be obedient to their parents, except with regards to idol worship. 29:8, you shall honor your parents. We enjoin the human being to honor his parents, but if they try to force you to set up idols beside me, do not obey them. To me is your ultimate return, then I will inform you of everything you had done. And 17:23, your Lord has decreed that you shall not worship except him, and your parents shall be honored. As long as one or both of them live, you shall never say to them, "Oof," the slightest gesture of annoyance, nor shall you shout at them. You shall treat them amicably. And then the Quran even talks about responsibilities we have to our extended family, including the order in which we give our charity and inheritance laws. And there, in 17:26 and 2:180, it talks about, that you're writing a will for the benefit of the parents as well as the relatives. So we have to keep these things in mind as well. So what's the cost of ignoring our roles in the family? This is something we see very common today, where people in a society where people don't follow God's laws. Women want to do what men do. Men want to do what women do. Men want to be women. Women want to be men, right? It's a very strange society. And of course, for the children, this is very confusing to see all of these things happening. So according to a study from Harvard, is Kareem Galil here? When traditional breadwinner roles are flipped, the risk of conflict increases. Couples are 32% more likely to divorce if the husband isn't working full-time while the wife is. These patterns suggest that clear complementary roles aligned with God's divine design foster greater marital stability than arrangements marked by role confusion or identity struggles. And we know that marriage is meant to be a source of tranquility. In 30:20, marriage, a divine institution. Among his proofs is that he created you from dust. Then you became reproducing humans. Among his proofs is that he created for you spouses from among yourselves in order to have tranquility and contentment with each other. And he placed in your hearts love and care towards your spouses. In this, there are sufficient proofs for people who think. And then I also wanted to talk about single-parent households a little bit. So in the U.S., more than 23 million children live in single-parent families. More than 20% of children born to married couples will experience a divorce by age 9. Major changes in parental relationships, such as transitioning from a two-parent to a single-parent household, can disrupt a child's routines, education, housing arrangements, and family income. It can also lead to a lot of trauma for the children. Children thrive when they have a safe, stable, and nurturing environment and relationships. I'm just going to skip through this for the sake of time. Yeah, I'm going to skip some of this. So it's no wonder why God discourages divorce when it has many negative effects on children. In 4:128, it says, if a woman senses oppression or desertion from her husband, the couple shall try to reconcile their differences, for conciliation is best for them. Selfishness is a human trait, and if you do good and lead a righteous life, God is fully cognizant of everything you do. As well, this is why a couple facing divorce must wait the interim, and the man's wishes to remarry supersede the women's in case of pregnancy. In 2:228, the divorced women shall wait 3 menstruations before marrying another man. It is not lawful for them to conceal what God creates in their wombs if they believe in God in the last day. In case of pregnancy, the husband's wishes shall supersede the wife's wishes if he wants to remarry her. The women have rights as well as obligations equitably. And I just wanted to highlight that last part because, in the sight of God, men and women, all that matters is our righteousness, but he does assign these roles, and with each role comes, a lot of responsibility and obligations for us to fulfill. And even in the case of divorce, the man can't just throw a woman out. And if the woman is pregnant, when the baby is born, she is still required to nurse the infant for 2 years if the father wishes. And this is stated in 2:231 and 2:233. And also in these verses, it mentions how the father shall provide the mother's food and clothing equitably. So he still has to provide for that woman, even if they're divorced. Okay. I do want to briefly talk about the orphans. So God tells us to regard them in Surah 4 verse 2 and Surah 4 verse 36. He tells us to treat them equitably in Surah 4 verse 127, be charitable towards them in Surah 4 verse 8, and not to take advantage of them, using their money very responsibly and frugally in Surah 6 verse 152. And these are just a few verses, but there's many more that talks about the orphans and how to treat them and their rights. And all those things that I mentioned as being consequences of missing one parent in the household, God emphasizes over and over in the Quran that we should be there for the orphans and provide that missing support. And in Surah 4 verse 10, it says, those who consume the orphans' properties unjustly eat fire into their bellies and will suffer in hell. So we see how severe it is to mistreat the orphans. Okay. I'm just going to skip a little bit more. Okay. So in conclusion, God gives us a guide to a peaceful and harmonious family. The unique roles given to men and women within the family are complementary. These roles are not a sign of inequality, control, or oppression, but a sign of God's wisdom. He designed the family as a sacred institution, one that depends on balance, compassion, and responsibility. When both a husband and a wife honor their responsibilities, the man as a breadwinner and the woman as a nurturer, and together they enjoin their family to worship God, the family becomes a source of joy and tranquility. So we shouldn't be ashamed of these roles that God has given us despite the societal pressures. We should embrace them, because when these roles blur or break down, marital tension rises. We see power struggles, decreased morale, and sadly higher divorce rates. And it's not only the adults who suffer. Such instability ultimately victimizes the children. They grow up confused about identity, purpose, and moral clarity. A home without proper spiritual leadership and emotional nurturing leaves children vulnerable to societal pressures. If you're not there teaching your children, their school is going to teach them. The society is going to teach them, all of the messed up values that they're pushing. But when a family follows the framework that God has laid out, built on mutual respect and consultation, the family thrives and flourishes. The roles God has created in the family unit give us the guide for a peaceful and righteous home. That is the end.
MashaAllah. God bless you. Are we going to go straight to... We had 2 minutes, so maybe we could do one question, or was that over? What? That was 20 minutes?
Okay,
So it's got... No. I think that 1 minute. Okay, so we can do one question. Just one. So, I see my sister. So that's Hanan. You got it. Okay, come here.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So just quickly, mashallah, great speech. Thank you so much. And my question is, it's a debate that comes up a lot on different studies. And I always have a thing about when it comes to family and parenting, that people who are not parents don't understand the responsibility, that unconditional responsibility, that psychological all that comes with being a parent. So when they make certain comments, I'm always the one to chime in. And then sometimes I get this backlash like, no, we can make comments. We do understand. And I just wanted to get your opinion on that as a parent and based on the verses that you read and, the speech that you gave, inshallah. Thank you.
So your question is... What exactly was the question part of it? Just about commenting on the debates that have been going on, and people
So
who
I
don't.
think,
Yeah, people who are not
yeah.
parents.
So I think the question is, if you're not a parent and then there's discussions around raising kids or whatever, and you're not a parent, is it like, can they make those comments if they're not actually parents themselves?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
at the
something
end
like
of
that.
the day, if somebody's saying something Quranic, it doesn't matter whether they're a parent or not, right? Like if someone says, hey, you shouldn't miss Quran study because you're taking care of your children, that's a very Quranic point. You can't say, well, you don't have kids, you don't know what it's like. It is hard, yeah, of course, but you still have to follow all of God's laws. And in terms of the roles that we have, those take priority before anything else, any of our other roles in this worldly life. So as long as we are fulfilling those roles, everything else can come after that, inshallah.
MashaAllah. God bless you, Serena. That's amazing. That means I can give you comments, Han. That's what that means. All right, so our next speaker, we're just trying to stay on schedule. So our next speaker, God willing, and if you guys could, I know there's like hot water at the back and tea and coffee, but be a bit mindful, we're going to have active speakers. So the next speaker is Fernan. Where's Fernan? Oh, we're just going by first names here. Everybody knows who Fernan is. Oh, there, and she's right here. I'm like looking over there. God bless you. Come up. So I'm going to give you that one.
Okay, praise God. God bless you. Okay, if this doesn't work, then. Assalamu alaikum. I forgot something. Let me get something really quick. This is one sec. Sorry. My butt's too big. There we go. Sorry. Oh, did it work? Yay! Can it present? Okay. Thank God. Okay, does the clicker work or do I have to go like this?
We're about to find out.
God's gift. SubhanAllah. Should I try it or should I wait? Okay, I have some stuff I can say while we fill in. Okay. So I wanted to say that thank God for this opportunity to be at conference. And this is God's gift to us. And every opportunity to strive is something precious. And we should be grateful to God that we can take advantage of it.